Good morning from magnificent Mugello for the final time this weekend. This is the third race of the second round of the European Series here at the home of the Tuscan Formula One Grand Prix. It is not a sunny Sunday morning here in Tuscany with overnight rain leaving the track dry, but still damp offline as you can see. If you missed the action yesterday, Nakamura took victory in race 1 and the Prema Racing driver also crossed the line in P1 in race 2. But into the evening, the stewards handed the Japanese driver a 5-second penalty for passing off the track, handing the victory to Alex Powell, who starts on pole position for race 3. Let's take a look at the highlights from yesterday here at Mugello. Reno Francot were having a super fight inside the top 10 before they finished in the gravel at Arrabbiata 1. Nakamura tying with Gabriel Gomez after the first race of the weekend for the series title. Wheel to wheel into turn 1. Alex Powell around the outside. It became the inside. Nakamura right there was adjudged to have passed off track and was handed a 5-second penalty despite racing away to win ahead of his former teammate by just under a second. Alex Powell inheriting the victory. It was his 8th victory of 2025. Getting ready for the final race of the weekend, over 30 minutes plus 1 lap here. Nice to have your company as you join us here in the dying days of the Italian summer. We take a look at the grid for you. 34 cars on the grid and the Mercedes AMG Junior. Alex Powell starts on pole position for RSGP. Alongside his Nakamura, Sebastian Wheldon from America, not having a good run in qualifying, but starts grid 3 alongside Reno Francot. Salim Hanna, who took the rookie victory yesterday. Dante Vinci was twice on the rookie podium. Gabriel Gomez, who won twice in Paul Ricard, back on grid 7. And Max Popov, who finished on the podium in race 1 yesterday. Andrea Dupé, his best qualifying performance of the weekend, grid 9 alongside the impressive Serbian Andrea Kostic. Watch Thomas Stolchemanis off the line for Antonelli Motorsport alongside the Sicilian, now with us racing, Ludovico Busso. Newman Chi, who was into the wall in race 1. He took a victory at Monza though in the Italian series, starts out at grid 13. Alongside the Polish rookie Alexander Ruta, Kabir Anurag, and from Argentina, Teo Schropp for Jensen Motorsport. Grid 17 sees Andy Consani, the second Mercedes Junior, alongside another rookie from Germany, that's Ian Kralik, Alexander Bondarev, the Williams Academy driver, back on grid 19, and the rookie from Qatar in the Middle East, who's had a solid run in 2025, Bader Al-Sulati. From Bangalore in India, Ari Bansal, then the Kiwi, Oscar Repetto, Elia Weiss, the 2 Cram Motorsport team drivers, and the second Ukrainian, Alexander Savinkov. Peyton Westcott fighting for the women's trophy is alongside the Israeli Guy Albag, Javier Herrera from Mexico, and Matilda Parts for the Matilda Racing team, the German. Starting ahead of Evan Michelini from Costa Rica, Aurelia Nobels. Racing in F1 Academy this year also, Emily Cotti and Ginevra Panzeri. She had a wild ride into the gravel yesterday. She starts ahead of one of 4 American drivers, 4 drivers I should say, from the United States. Andre Rodriguez from Colorado and Abdullah Kamel, 2-time Saudi kart racing champion, the 5th of the Antonelli Motorsport cars on grid 34. So there is the news that we were expecting. The race will start behind the safety car. We are on the slick tyre, but it is damp here. It is quite cool this morning. The track is largely dry on line, but in far from ideal condition. As the green light shines, the safety car sets off, and with that, the clock ticks down, and we are officially underway for the final race of the weekend here at Mugello. Just getting back to race 2 yesterday, Nakamura crossed the line in P1, but was adjudged to have passed on the outside of the corner. They're approaching now Alex Powell, offline and was given a 5-second penalty. It dropped him. It was on that corner right there, in fact. They went wheel to wheel. It was a great fight between the two, but, well, when we apply the regulations, which did not exist a decade ago, yeah, the penalties, they were handed out. Just the two of them overnight. Andrea Kostic with another one. So Alex Powell taking the victory. It was his 8th victory of 2025. Of course, he started, as Max Popov goes through, started at 2025 as vice champion in the United Arab Emirates Formula 4 Series. You can see it is only 18 degrees Celsius here, damp offline, as the field make their way down through Poggio Secco, Matarasi, Borgo San Lorenzo, Casanova, and then into Arrabbiata 1. Under the control of our race director, Mr. Dino Lotala, who was also with the FIA for the recent Formula 1 Grand Prix of the Netherlands at Zandvoort, has control of the field. Alex Powell from pole position with his former teammate. You remember in 2024, it came down to the final race at Imola for the Italian F4 Championship in the rookie category. Alex taking that title. Both Keane and Alex with only a few races left in their Formula 4 career as they look to 2026. Newman Chi going through, the Chinese rookie, with a race victory in the Italian Series. The field coming up into Corantaio, we take a quick look at the point score coming into this, the second of 3 rounds. This is the 6th of 9 races. Kin Nakamura Berta is the series leader on 94 points, only 8 points clear of Gabriel Gomez. The Brazilian in car 78, back on grid 7. He's on 86 points. Reno Francot, P3, both in both races yesterday. He's 3rd in the series on 58 points. A single digit clear of the pole sitter Alex Powell on 57 points. And Sebastian Wheldon from Florida, the Andretti Jr., who starts grid 3, or in reality 3rd on the road, is 5th in the Euro Series on 46 points. At least one more lap behind the safety car as drivers get a feel for the conditions at this legendary 5.2 kilometre circuit built back in 1970. More than half a century of motor racing. Of course, host venue for the Italian MotoGP these days. Hosted just one time the Tuscan Formula 1 Grand Prix. You remember that massive pile-up on the straight right there. It was half a decade ago now. Unfortunately, that day they raced in front of, well, a big TV audience, but in front of virtually no one here at the circuit as the safety car prepares to come in at the end of this lap. In fact, that's not exactly true. In those bizarre times, I think from memory there was something like 750 guests, let's say, allowed at the circuit for the 2020 Tuscan Grand Prix. So we will race at green at the end of this lap. Alex Powell to lead the field away from Kin Nakamura Berta. There's Javier Herrera going through, Emily Cotti. 5 drivers racing for the Women's Trophy. Peyton Westcott among them from California, south of Los Angeles. She'll be off to Nevada in the north of Spain on Thursday to test in the F1 Academy Series, the series which Aurelia Nobels has already raced in. 4 drivers from the United States of America. There is one of them. Sebastian Wheldon has had a tough weekend, but looking to finish strong. This is Dante Vinci, finished P5 in the first race yesterday from Sydney, Australia, in the 66 Van Amersfoort racing car. The lights will go off on the safety car imminently on a damp track, slightly greasy conditions for the final race of the weekend. This is the E4 Championship. The first title in 2023, won by the driver from New York, USA, the McLaren Jr., Ugo Ugochukwu. In 2024, the title was won by the driver from New York in the United States, Akshay Bora. The 3rd running of the European Series presented by WSK Promotion, together with Acci Sport, the Automobile Club of Italy, in this 20th anniversary season of WSK Promotion's involvement in world motorsport. Alex Powell, a former WSK International Kart Racing Champion, as is Kin Nakamura Berta, right behind him. Nakamura Berta tucked under the wing of the 41 R-Race GP car. Alex Powell controls the pace, visor open for the Jamaican as they go down into Bucene. Ready to race here this morning at Mugello. Virtual walking pace, a crash in the background. Oh no! We have lost one of the Van Amersfoort racing cars and an Antonelli Motorsport car. Do we go green? Yes, it is flying on the start-finish straight. So we race here this morning. We'll get back to that incident in a moment. A crash behind the safety car coming up to the line, but the green flag flies and we race here in Tuscany this morning. Sebastian Wheldon gets a great start on the back of King Nakamura Berta, who tries to defend on the inside. Wheldon on the outside. Powell goes position 1. Wheldon is still there on the outside of San Donato. The American off into the grass. And there is Reno Francot just behind in P4. It was Peyton Westcott and Javier Herrera, the Mexican and the Californian, coming together under safety car. It is still just a local yellow for the moment. Herrera has got going, unfortunately. Peyton Westcott will drive it back to pit lane. It looks as though her morning is over. Wheldon defending from Francot. That's Salim Hanna just behind from Dante Vinci, Gomez, Popov, Andrea Dupé, and Andre Kostic just ahead of the Sicilian Ludovico Puso. Here's Peyton down in pit lane. What a tough weekend it has been for the Californian. She had a good race too yesterday. She was out on the first lap of race 1, out on the first lap of race 3. And she can't wait to see the back of the Mugello Circuit, with all due respect. She heads to Navarra in the north of Spain for the F1 Academy test this coming Thursday. We wish her all the best. We'll see her back in Barcelona next week also for the Italian Championship, which Kin Nakamura Berta in second place is leading. Alex Powell, you can see the debris offline on the circuit, left over from Javier Herrera, and Peyton Westcott coming together behind the safety car. So we start lap 4 with Powell, the Mercedes AMG Junior, in position 1. Nakamura Berta. Wheldon has resisted the challenge from Reno Francot for the moment. This is Gabriel Gomez in 78, in position 7 ahead of Popov. There's Dupé going through. Kostic, Puso, Thomas, Stolchamanis for Antonelli Motorsport ahead of Ruta, Chi, Anorak, Consani, Schropp and Ian Kralik, the German rookies. We see Gomez up the inside into San Donato. Splits the Van Amersfoort racing cars. He's on the inside, holds the position, loses track time, but goes on by. Nicely done by Gomez, who takes Dante Vinci. Popov is right there in car 3 as well. Then we go back to Andrea Dupé for the Prema Racing team, the Frenchman now living in Milan in the north of Italy, but Gomez goes on by and takes both the VAR drivers. Alexander Ruta going through, ahead of Kabir Anurag. There's Teo Schropp, Ian Kralik, Bondarev still down in 19th position. There's Ludovico Puso just ahead of Thomas Stolchamanis. Good start also from Elia Weiss and Oscar Repetto. The Creme Motorsport drivers, the Italian New Zealander from Monaco, Oscar Repetto in 37. First time ever racing on a wet or damped track. And you can see just behind that battle, he is right tucked in, just behind his German teammate, Elia Weiss. The gap, 0.4 of a second as the field streamed down into Bucine. Peyton Westcott, the sole retirement from race 3 here this morning. Alex Powell looking for his 9th victory in Formula 4 racing in 2025. Vinci just ahead of his teammate Max Popov in car 3. Gets the slipstream, that's Andrea Dupé going by. Andrea Kostic in car 4. Powell leads just half a second clear of his former teammate. As the two teammates from Van Amersfoort Racing come together, Popov fires it up the inside. Dupé, Andrea goes on and takes the both of them. Kostic will get by at least one VAR car as well. Dante Vinci losing time and track position as the two Van Amersfoort Racing teammates, Max Popov and Dante Vinci, come together. Powell leads by 0.4 of a second. There's Thomas Stolchemanis as well. Now with the Antonelli Motorsport team, he's on the back of Ludovico Busso. They've gone wheel to wheel over the last half decade in WSK World Kart Racing. Thomas Stolchemanis, of course, taking one of the most spectacular victories for the Energy Corsa Racing team 2 years ago at Franciacorta in the WSK Euro Series. The driver from Latvia in car 33, that famous number, and you know why, now driving the blue and white machine for Antonelli Motorsport. One of 5 Antonelli Motorsport cars on track. Marco Antonelli here at the circuit overseeing his young chargers, the best of which is Thomas Stolchemanis, who's just outside the top 10. On your screen, the Mercedes AMG Junior, Alex Powell. There's Gomez in the background on the back of Salim Hanna, and the two South Americans continue this battle which raged on yesterday. Nakamura Berta, the gap only 0.3 of a second back to Sebastian Wheldon, who gets the slipstream. Reno Francot, 3rd in race 1, 3rd in race 2, 4th in the early stages of the green laps here. In race 3 here this morning, Gomez goes fastest. Gomez on the back of the Colombian is the Brazilian. Puts in a 1:51.954. Almost 3 seconds off their qualifying time from 48 hours ago on Friday evening. We qualified on track. Plenty of rubber put down on this circuit, courtesy not only of the 34 Formula 4 cars, but also the final round of the Italian GT3 Endurance Championship, which races green later on this afternoon. The field go down into Matarassi, Borgo San Lorenzo. There's Bader Al-Solati. Has had a really impressive run just ahead of Elia Weiss. Great debut, rookie season. Bader Al-Solati from Qatar, the 2023 Qatari kart racing champion, racing with Gensa Motorsport, who won the Italian Series in 2016 with the Argentine, Marcus Siebert. Bader Al-Solati just behind the Williams Junior, Alexander Bondarev. Gomez still trying to attack Hanna. We go back to Popov, Dupé, Kostic, wide line from Dante Vinci, who is still 3rd in the rookie race. Has dropped back to P10 from Ludovico Busso. That's Thomas Stolchemanis going through. Antonelli Motorsport in 33 in 12th place. Gomez closes up on the back of Salim Hanna. Vital points, remember, for the European Series, which concludes the 3-round series, which kicked off at Paul Ricard, Le Castellet in the south of France before the summer break. This is round 2 and the 3rd round at the Temple of Speed. That is Monza on the final weekend of October, as you see Gomez get the slipstream from Hanna into San Donato, into turn 1. Has a half a look down the inside. Too far back to attack that time was the boy from Sao Paulo. The series final of the European Series, October 26 at Monza, the circuit which hosted last weekend, 7 days ago, the biggest event ever in Italian sporting history, as Max raced away, of course, to beat the two McLarens home in just 1 hour and 13 minutes. Fastest Grand Prix ever recorded. That is the final round of the European Series, the E4 Championship on October 26. Gomez is still 2nd in the series on 86 points. Nakamura Berta 2nd on the road, 1st in the series in 94 points. But as we approach the half-race distance, it is Alex Powell in position 1 for R-Race GP. Wheldon still on the podium in 3rd place and has closed up on the back of Kin Nakamura Berta. The gap almost out to 1 second now between Kin Nakamura Berta and the race leader. In fact, it's out to 1.1, as you can see on the top left of your screen. Into Buccione. Alex Powell, the R-Race GP car, it's looking good here this morning. Of course, he won 2 out of 3 rounds 2 out of 3 races, I should say, in the Italian Championship, in the Italian round of the series, which raced at Mugello. And now you see Sebastian, the Andretti Junior, who qualified only 12th and finished 12th yesterday in races 1 and 2, but now in P3 on the back of the championship leader, Nakamura up the hill at just under 240 kilometres an hour. Nakamura defends. There's Reno in the background. Wheldon still in P3 at the moment and goes fastest. Gets the drive. He's on the outside though. Holds it. Sebastian Wheldon tucks back in. Nakamura defensive. The gap will blow out dramatically in this sector now. It was 0.9 of a second. With that defense, it will be well over 1 second. Alex Powell goes down into Casanova. 1.2, 1.3 seconds, the gap between the Jamaican and the Japanese drivers. For first and second, Reno Francot on the ragged edge is the Dutchman trying to take his 3rd podium of the weekend. We're into the second half of race 3, the second round of the E4 Championship for 2025, presented by WSK Promotion. Together with the Automobile Club of Italy, 34 drivers taking the start, 33 still on track. Peyton Westcott, the sole retirement, was the Californian on the first lap of the race. In fact, even before we went green, coming together with Javier Herrera, who has continued on. One of 2 Mexican drivers, well, 1.5 Mexican drivers. Of course, just behind him is Andrea Rodriguez. Abdullah Kamel from Saudi rounds out the field. Once again, Wheldon gets the slipstream, gets the run. Wheldon tucked under the wing of car 51 at just under 240 kilometres an hour. 2:37 clocked by Nakamura on his qualifying lap on Friday evening. Darts to the inside, then tries the outside to Sebastian Wheldon. Reno Francot is catching, and there's Gabriel Gomez in the background. Still the top South American. Salim Hanna, who is also the first rookie. Into the gravel after a great run this morning is Andrea Dupé. What an unfortunate end to the Frenchman's morning. This is the reason why he was helped, in fact. Andrea Kostic, Andrea Dupé, cars 4 and 5 come together. The Serbian and the French drivers. That was at the exit of Mugello Circuit. Turn 3, a local yellow only for the moment. In fact, scrap that. The safety car comes out onto the circuit. The 1.6 second lead, which Alex Powell had over Nakamura instantly evaporates. Safety car is out. Andrea Dupé is out. Dupé in car 5 coming together with Kostic in car 4. His morning, his weekend is over. That's really tough luck for AD. He was having a very strong run inside the top 10, but has ended in the gravel. Andrea Dupé. Hard to see exactly what happened precisely from that point of view. From the outside, we'll try and bring you another replay. Certainly front left to right rear, Kostic with Andrea Dupé. The French driver now living in Milan in Italy, now in the gravel and walks back to the pits. He retires. He's the second retirement of the morning. It's been a tough 2025 for the young Frenchman. Makes the long walk back from the highest part of the circuit. Some consolation. Well, very little. It's a downhill walk at this tremendously undulating circuit. As you can see here in the Tuscan countryside, a cloudy Sunday morning here at Mugello. There's Kabir Anura going through in P15, just behind the second Mercedes Junior, Andy Consani in car 10 in P14. So it's Powell who leads from Nakamura. 1.6 seconds, the gap between Powell and Nakamura Berta. It was until the safety car comes out onto the circuit in race conditions for the second time this morning. Al-Salati going through, just behind Bondarev. Elia Weiss, Savinkov. This is Max Popov. Car 3 in position 7. Ahead of Kostic. Dante Vinci, the second rookie. And now Thomas Stolchamanis for Antonelli Motorsport, right there on your screen in car 33, has worked his way inside the top 10. Bulsol, this is Newman Chi, who finished in the wall, in the gravel at this very corner they're approaching now. We expect this to be a quick safety car. In fact, word from race control, safety car ending, safety car in this lap. We will go back green with just on 8 minutes remaining. The gap 1.6 seconds, it was. Now it is 0.0 because Nakamura Berta will have another chance to attack the back of Alex Powell, who's looking to take his 9th victory in Formula 4 for 2025. The top rookie, Salim Hanna, still in position 5. He's also the top South American. The battle for the women's trophy. Currently, Matilda Parts leading that from Aurelia Nobels. And Emily Cotti with Ginevra Panzeri. P4 in the women's trophy after the retirement of the Californian Peyton Westcott. Powell, P1 in car 41. Down through Biondetti 1. The S's into Buccine. Turn 15. The R-Race GP driver, again with the visor cracked open, getting some fresh air on a cool morning. And the Jamaican checks the right side mirror back to his old teammate, Kin Nakamura Berta. Wheldon in position 3. 7:20 plus 1 lap remaining on the clock. The green flag flies now. Alex Powell goes. Wheldon, who of course coming from the United States of America, is used to restarting behind the safety car. He gets a tremendous run right behind Nakamura Berta. The Japanese driver trying to shake the driver from Florida. Powell in P1. Wheldon gets a tremendous slipstream. Nakamura Berta tries to break it. No problem for Wheldon. Sebastian sends it down the inside. Nakamura Berta covers him off. Sebastian around the outside. Nakamura Berta tries to take P1. Powell locks up Sebastian Wheldon into position 2, almost into the race lead. Can he do it? Sebastian around the outside. Wheldon has gone P1. What a move. What a pass. And the driver from the United States of America, a sensational restart, has taken P1 away from the driver who dominated from the start of the race. Big move up the inside from Gomez. Nakamura Berta's in the gravel. Reno Frankot van the Netherlands dives down the inside and goes P3 for the 3rd time this weekend. Sebastian Wheldon, a superb restart. He pulled off a super move in the Italian series earlier in the year, going around the outside at Monza. That was just awesome. Wheldon P1, Powell P2, Frankot, Nakamura Berta, who was in the gravel. And look who's right behind the Japanese championship leader. It is O Menino do Brasil. They're fighting for the championship. Gabriel Gomez is now into P5. There is only 8 points between Nakamura Berta and Gomez coming into this, the 6th of 9 races. Sebastian Wheldon, 46 points. He's 5th in the European series, but he's P1 with just over 5 minutes remaining. Sensational restart. 4 victories last year in the USF Junior Series, which his younger brother Ollie is competing in. He's here at the circuit, as is his mother, Susie, nervously watching on from opposite our commentary studio here at Mugello. Her boy on your screen, 98, the Andretti Jr. checks the left side mirror, races across the line at 150 miles an hour. For our friends watching on live on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, he's pulled away 0.7 of a second. Back to Powell is a big lock up from Popov. Maximilian tries to send it on Salim Hanna, who's still the top rookie. Alex Powell with a 1.6 second lead prior to the safety car. And now he's back in second place. He's 0.8 of a second behind the American. So we see Andy Consani, French driver, going on the inside of the Sicilian, Ludovico Busso, who's in the gravel. Kabir Anurag takes advantage. Nicely done by the Alpine F1 Academy junior driver right behind. Is Ian Kralik, also the young German rookie, who's also one of multiple drivers who's raced with us in the last decade in WSK World Karting. The Van Amersfoort Racing teammates. Dante Vinci, still the third rookie in P10. Alex Ruta from Poland, just behind. Also for the Van Amersfoort Racing team, P11, and the fourth rookie, Salim Hanna, is the top rookie. Sebastian Wheldon, as you look at Reno Francot go through with 3:30 plus 1 lap on the clock. It is Wheldon in position 1. Lock up from Ki Nakamura Berta. Position 4, Gomez, trying to ping some points back from the championship leader. Gabriel Gomez, third 2 seasons ago for the CRG Racing team at the World Kart Racing Championships. Second year racing in Formula 4, also fighting for the Italian series for the German US Racing team. Remember, they took this title last year with Akshay Bora. He's in P5. And then we go back to the second South American, Salim Hanna, Popov, Kostic. Car 4 still in P8 from Chi. Vinci and Ruta on your screen, they're still fighting. Stolchamanis takes the both of them. Thomas is a talent. He's had a tough 2025. He switched teams. He started the year red and white with the Prema Racing team. Now has moved across to Antonelli Motorsport, a superstar of WSK World Karting with the Energy Corsa Racing team. And now he makes his way by both the Van Amersfoort Racing cars inside the top 10 as Sebastian puts over 1 second now. Back to Alex Powell, who will be frustrated. He had his 9th victory of 2025 almost locked away on the restart. Superb around the outside, and look at the lead from the American. The driver from St. Peter's City, which hosts a round of the NTT IndyCar World Series, and he's got a huge future ahead of him, as does Alex Powell on your screen. The Mercedes Junior, this is Reno Francot into Buccine. So we expect there to be 2 laps remaining as they cross the line to start lap 14. This is Kostic, Andrea, the Serbian, in car 4. Fastest lap of the race still for Sebastian with a 51.006. Critically, the gap is 1.7 seconds. The final minute plus 1 lap to race, so we expect the last lap board to come out next time round. Alex Powell, P2 in race 1 yesterday. He took the victory last night when Ki Nakamura Berta was handed a penalty for exceeding the track limits on that corner right there. And now Powell, who was dominating the first part of this race. Look at the lead from Sebastian Wheldon. Disheartened after both races 1 and 2 yesterday, finishing 12th in the weekend opener. And look at the lead from the Andretti Junior, a huge future, as we were saying, whether he decides to line up on the biggest race in the world, the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 500 in years to come. But of course, as you know, the Cadillac Formula 1 team, with an association with Andretti Motorsport, or Autosport I should say, well, he can virtually pick and choose. He's got the talent, he's got the speed, on which side of the Atlantic Ocean he'll race in the years to come. For the moment, he's leading the European Series as the clock ticks down. 3 seconds remaining. The last lap board will come out for Sebastian Wheldon next time round. Reno Francot, PHM Racing, 3rd in race 1 yesterday, 3rd in race 2 yesterday. He's running 3rd in race 3 here this morning with just over 5 kilometres to race. Can still see the damp parts of the circuit offline. Alex Powell frustrated in second place, has driven perfectly all weekend. But what a restart from Sebastian Wheldon. 5.2 kilometres, just over 3 miles to race for the British American, who won the first round of the season opening Italian F4 Championship at Misano to start 2025. There's Pal, Francot, Nakamura Berta, Gomez, back to Hana. Kostic is behind Popov. There's Stolchamanis going through. Goes wide though. Newman Chi, the second rookie now in car 28, has taken both Ruta and Vinci. Alexander has got by his Australian teammate. He's now third in the rookie race. Matilda parts for Matilda Racing from Cologne in Germany. She still leads the women's trophy. From the Brazilian, Belgian, American, Aurelia Nobel's also racing in the F1 Academy Series. And the British Kiwi, Emily Cotti. P1 outright though, with just a few corners remaining. Sebastian Wheldon. Down through Scarparia. Into Corantayo for the final time. The gap is 2.5 seconds. Powell, the American-born Jamaican, we should say, now defending from Reno Francot, who's looking at his third place podium of the weekend. A superb restart. We can hear you cheering from the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. The Andretti Jr. comes into the final corner, and the checkered flag is about to wave all the way from the USA. Sebastian Wheldon takes a fantastic victory here this morning at Mugello. The restart of the season, that won him the race. Around the outside, he took Nakamura Berta and Powell. Alex finishes second, Reno third. King Nakamura Berta comes home P4 off the podium, but just still does hold on to the championship lead. There's Teo Schropp just leading home, the Indian Adi Bansal, Bondarev, Samvinkov, Weiss, Matilda Pats. She wins the women's trophy. A great recovery for the German after being in the wall on lap 1 of race 1 yesterday. The morning belongs to the Andretti Jr. in car 98. He qualified by his high standards, a lowly 12th for race 1 yesterday. Started the weekend slowly, was almost sent into the gravel after an ambitious pass by, let's just say, another driver who, to be fair, did not touch anybody. But what a comeback this morning. Sebastian Wheldon takes victory in race 3 of the E4 Championship. Not sure how much pickup he will have got in the grass. Probably just cleaned the other underside of the car because you can see the moisture. Well, you did see it. Overnight rain leaving the infield reasonably wet here this morning, as it is damp offline. The restart of the season. Wheldon comes into pit lane, car 98 in position 1. The Prema Racing Team driver, let's remember, wins race 6 of the 9-round E4 Championship for 2025. Reno Francot, 3 third places from the weekend, will move up in the standings as well. Ken Nakamura Berta will quickly try and do some mathematics. We believe we'll still just hold the series lead going into Monza on October 26. Alex to the left of your screen. There's Reno to the right. Sebastian Wheldon from the United States of America wins race 3 here at Mugello this morning for the Prema Racing Team. Salim Hanna has taken the rookie race win as well from Newman Chi and Alexander Ruta. As Matilda parts, she takes victory in the women's trophy. Salim Hanna, Alexander just behind. They'll be on the rookie podium here this morning. Sebastian stands on the top step of the outright podium after winning race 3 here this morning in the Tuscan countryside. Puts on the Pirelli hat to cover the haircut. If you know, you know. Rino Frankhuyt comes home in 3rd place for the 3rd time this weekend. The sole entry for the PHM racing team, the Dutchman Alex Powell, victory in race 2 last night, will be disheartened after dominating the first half of the race. 2nd here this morning. A superb restart from 3rd to 2nd to take the victory for Sebastian Wheldon, who's down in pit lane, speaking with Laura Calder.
Congratulations for the victory, an excellent strategy. You really made the most of the safety car restart.
Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, starting behind the safety car, I knew it was important not to lose any spots at the start. Yeah, just managed the tires in the beginning, and then yeah, had a pretty good second safety car restart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Race 3 here at Mugello this morning, starting behind the safety car after overnight rain, leaving the track slightly damp offline. Alex Powell from pole position, leading the field away. Sebastian Wheldon in P3, trying to get the slipstream from Kim Nakamura Berta, but the Mercedes AMG Junior going position 1. Andrea Dupé, Andrea Kostic going wheel to wheel as they went up the hill into San Donato. The Van Amersfoort Racing teammates Dante Vinci and Max Popov come together. Andrea Dupé goes by. Kostic in car 4, Andrea Dupé in car 5. They come together at Mugello Circuit, and the Frenchman is out. The gap of 1.6 seconds, the lead from the Jamaican evaporates. Under pressure is Powell. Nakamura Berta in the middle of the circuit. Watch Sebastian Wheldon. He goes up the inside of his Prema Racing teammate, goes on the inside and takes Powell. He's on the outside, that becomes the inside. The Andretti Junior from the United States. What a restart, what a pass. Sebastian Wheldon goes P1 as Nakamura Berta into the gravel. Rino Frankhuyt from the Netherlands into P3 for the 3rd time this weekend. All the way from the USA, Sebastian Wheldon wins with a sensational restart. He takes victory in race 3 here at Mugello. Confirmation that Sebastian wins from Alex and Rino Frankhuyt. Great weekend for the Dutchman. Kim Nakamura Berta does still just hold the championship lead going into the series final at Monza over Gabriel Gomez, who finishes just a single position behind. So you can see Kim Nakamura Berta 10 points clear of Gomez. Alex Powell moves to 3rd in the series over Rino Frankhuyt. And the race winner, Sebastian Wheldon.
La seconda per Alex Powell. Il vincitore, Sebastian
3rd place again for Rino. 2nd, 1st and 2nd for Alex this weekend. Oh, he knows how to play up the crowd. Of course he does. He is from the United States and he wins here in the Italian countryside. The Andretti Junior, Sebastian Wheldon, wins here at Mugello.
E questo era l'inno nazionale di
The most
Sebastian
famous
Wheldon,
national
il
anthem
vincitore.
on earth, surely
E
the
adesso andiamo
Star-Spangled
con la
Banner,
foto ufficiale.
rings
Occhio
out here in the
al fuoco.
Tuscan countryside for Sebastian Wheldon, who wins race 3 here at Mugello this morning. From here, the Italian Championship races back into life. That is in 7 days from now at Barcelona in Spain, the home of the Catalan Spanish Formula One Grand Prix. That's the 6th round of the Italian Championship and the Euro Series, the E4 Championship, the series final on October 26. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in Spain next week for the Italian Series final in Catalonia.